Welcome everybody, my name is Jamie and I'll be your host today on VRML, bringing you the VRML Challenger Cup EU region playoffs today, and I'll be with my host, with my co-caster should I say, Tbnroil, and we do have guest analyst Tbnroil dropping by, providing his thoughts between the rounds on how these teams are doing today. As you can see, we do have Dub City Warriors taking on VRSec, so this should be a fantastic game to start things out with today. The bans have come down all the way to Downfall, and that's going to be the map where we are going to play. Tbnroil, how do these guys look at on the standings for Downfall?
Sorry, you'll have to give me a second about that.
Whilst you find the standings there and get some information out of that, TB, are you excited for this game? How do you feel being over the waters and seeing some EU games today?
I think, gosh, yeah, I'm gonna think that it's gonna be a bit slower. I don't know how Dub City plays. I've never really cast them or anything. I do know Berserk is, I believe, slower, but I mean, this is what I predicted to be the championship match before we had a team drop, unfortunately. But so I think whoever wins this has got the tournament. So I think it's straight to it. This is it. This is the big match here. But we also have the next match, and I believe there's a championship round too. So I mean, it doesn't mean if you lose this one you're out, but it definitely means you have to win your next one to continue fighting on. So yeah. I think it's gonna be slower, but if it could be fast-paced too. But I think this is the one for the all.
Yeah, I think this is certainly the game that people wanted to see in the EU region out of the teams that were being played, so it's great to see things cracking off with them, and both sides going to be able to see how each other are playing today and how they're standing. Like you say, I don't think it's going to be an instant out to the loser of this. I don't think they may get another chance. LGR are basically automatically through into round 2, so Dub City and BRSec going to be playing it out to play against those guys in the next round. And then I think the winners of that will play the losers in the semi-finals. So still could have another chance in Downfall being an interesting first map to start things out with. And we're going to see some very defensive actions, I imagine, and just some kind of slower plays for this map. So Miro, have you had time to get the stats and figures for these guys?
Yeah, sorry about that. It appears I was a bit less prepared than I thought, but we do have over on the Dub City side a bit of an interesting pick for them. They have played it 10 times and won it 6 times, which is, you know, pretty good record to have. But they did have Subway over, which if we have a look at Berserk, they also favour Subway as well. And Downfall was a bit lower down on their playing it 3 times and not winning it, so I'm surprised there wasn't a ban coming out there from Berserk. But it is going to be pretty interesting. I would have expected probably more of a Subway or even a Bazaar, but yeah, we'll have to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, very interesting indeed, and it is a good pick, I think, for Dub City Warriors, but I've seen BRSec play this game, and if they can just hold out that defense on this map, they could find themselves going straight through to round number 2. As we know, Downfall is very Volk favoured, and BRSec have had the opportunity to start out on Volk themselves, and both sides looking nearly full. I have seen the 5th player for BRSec jumping in and out, so these guys are going to be getting ready to play very, very shortly. Thank you all for dropping by to watch this game, and it's always good to see people coming in and talking about the game. The question is going to be, who do you guys feel may be the winner? We'll definitely get some predictions up once the game is going, to see who you at home watching this fancy to be the winners of this first round.
Yeah, and the last time these two teams matched up, it was earlier this season, and we did get to see Berserk win. And if we look at that match, we are able to see it was a 12-5 win for Berserk. They won Quarantine and Subway Quarantine, Subway, and Bazaar 4-2, 4-3, and 4-0, but they didn't play Downfall. So I'm guessing Berserk might have a strat that they have up against Dub City that Dub City might not be able to win against Berserk. So Zuck. So yeah.
Indeed.
Gosh.
I know
So
we.
yeah.
I know we've played them a couple times, and they definitely do like the kind of bigger played maps. So I wouldn't count them out just yet for this map. And yeah, it's all to play for still. I think both sides now have got 5 out of 5, so we should hopefully be going into the rounds very shortly. Myself and TB will be casting, and then between the rounds we'll be going to Delamiro for his thoughts and opinions on the game. So looking forward to hearing that when that does once the game does start.
Yeah, having a look at who's picked the maps as well. You know, Dub City did get the choice of Downfall, which they were probably very happy about. Maybe Berserk being aware of the particular strength of Subway and banning that instead. But they did, you know, maybe not aware of Berserk, maybe not aware of Dub City's strength at Downfall either. Or, as you said, they could have a very nice tactic ready, which would really, really throw, you know, everybody off.
Yeah, you never know when you're against a team that haven't really played too much on a certain map. On a certain map, you just have that unknown of not knowing truly how they are probably going to play. So yeah, it's just something we've got to see how it does go.
And sorry for the wait. You know, we truly apologize for that, but we do. The NA side will be full of gameplay tonight. I think we have a lot of casters on that tonight, and it's going to be jam-packed of action. So stick around. I mean, and thank you for those who did. Without you, we wouldn't be casting without people who stick around like you guys. So I thank every single one of you who stuck through that wait. And it should be starting shortly. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have been around for the NA games, but unfortunately I just don't have that availability tonight. But I will be hopefully watching from the sidelines and seeing what's going on over in NA.
Yeah, we do get to see some NA casters you might be familiar with. Grenade Magnet, Parkham, Nightfire, and I guess Parkham's a bit new, but never too late to know your casters. I will not be there tonight either, but I mean, it should be good. It's gonna be really good.
That it should be, and yeah, I know that there's going to be quite a lot of teams playing in the that NA region. So we're going to get to see a heck of a lot of different kind of strats. So it's one of them really, you know. And with the single map kind of playoff, you've got to really bring those strats that you've been working with to the tables as well as you possibly can. So probably been testing them out in scrims, and now is the time to kind of play them. So I can certainly see a lot of teams and the round robins especially probably going to be watching these games and trying to get an eye for how a lot of the teams that they could potentially end up playing against do certainly come out. So yeah, they're going to have to be watching that one. So again, it does seem like we are now going to be going into that first round. Both sides ready. 5 out of 5. So let us get the first round underway.
Helicopter bungalow objective. I mean, there's 2 objectives on here, but it's gonna be. This one is harder to defend. You have to spread yourself out more because there's a lot more angles you can be attacked from, and So hopefully we can see some spread out defenses, but I mean you can also have people going closer towards OBJ2.
I think it can. We can see early on Dolomane, Chill Will, and Surdison? Dasson going to be coming over and taking the Mossok Twin Towers to try and get that overarching look onto the objective. Kind of standard play early on coming from Dub City Warriors, that 2-2 split or 2-3 split. Dolomane going to be trying to get some angles that he could possibly get. Grim Reaper is spotting some movement there in the South Brothel. Not going to be able to connect the shots, but does get those call-outs in. That's the tough part about Downfall. Really got to try and hold back the Volk side. Make sure that they can't push through and, make sure that they can't get those long-range angles on your team whilst you're making your way through the map.
Yeah, if we look at the overall defense of this, they're more centered towards the south here. So we do. I mean, it's a very south-centered thing, and there was a kill coming out from Berserk, so picking off, I believe it was Jake crew. So I mean, you just hold those lines. So great pickup by GDM.
Yeah, he's in such a great spot here over in the helicopter. You can just basically watch anyone trying to move from the valley, and we are seeing a little bit of argy-bargy coming on. Chillwill, Surdasson trying to push out of the valley, not quite able to. The guy got a great angle, does find the pick onto Grim Reaper, who was out, moving around behind upper red truck. But he is only down, going to be able to get the call-outs, but the guy going to be able to just look over here again into the valley and just see this movement coming in by Chillwill, Surdasson. And they've got a very, very tough push on the hands here with a little bit of pre-fire onto the South Brothel. The guy then won't be able to beat the corner, and Chillwill or Surdasson could certainly push up to the lower dumpster building, but it does take quite a bit of teamwork to be able to get that cohesion and just get that play to come out. BRSec, with having 5 players still up at the moment, they're in a very, very powerful position to be able to just wait and see how the push comes out and then just look in that general direction.
Yeah. And if you look at Zalno's position over here, they have a line in such a good spot because for the Marsoc, it's very dark and dim, and it's really hard for them to get angles onto that position. And it's just great overview, so it's gonna really put a halt in Dub City because Zalno is in such a good spot, and he just took fires at Dolomane over in South.
Yeah, it
Marsoc.
Here's a great spot holding the stairs there on mid-hotel. You can just basically keep an eye on Marsoc. Anyone trying to move from the upper red truck, it does seem like Surdasson and Chillwill opting to go for a different method of approach, knowing that the valley going to be a very, very tough way of getting in here. Get some smokes in, try to push through. Papanius, though, does see the movement in on the upper dumpster. Surdasson knows that his teammate's now gone down, going to try and see what he can do and if he can take out Papanius himself. He's a little bit of a slither of him, just can't quite connect those shots though. It gives away his spot. The guy taking shots, Papanius peaks at the right second, does take down Surdasson. Dub City Warriors now with only 1 up and 1 down. Got a very tough push on the hands.
Yeah, up in the north over here, we do get to see if Dolomane is able to push up and get Grim Reaper. It does look like you're going to get past JDM from the helicopter and is moving up. They're going to get the revive, but how long will they be able to keep this north push going before they are spotted? With the defense mainly centered around the south, it could be just a push-ups in and take out Partisan and then a cap. It could be as simple as that.
It's a very tough one. Nice pick by the guy from the South Brothel. Takes down Dolomane in lower red truck. Does leave Grim Reaper the revive to try and now see what he can do against 5 defenders. 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining. Like I said, this map, very, very Volk favored. You've got to be so confident in this map or on your Marsoc if you do pick it. And Dub City Warriors certainly must have been confident in their pick there, but going to get picked off in the first Mossad round. GDIM going to get the final pick onto Grim Reaper there and give BRSec the first point for the first round of the Challenger Cup.
Tbnroil, what were your thoughts on that round?
We saw pretty early that DC were going for a very split push. They weren't trying to create one big arrow of attack. They went, you know, in a 2-2-1 kind of push, and they were getting picked off slowly from that, which was, you know, not very optimal. We seen the middle go, and then the left, and then they slowly picked off the right, and then it was only the left side, well, the north side, we'll call it, to push up. So they were getting taken out from this split push, so maybe they learn from that and understand maybe that split isn't very great. But we did have a lot of early fire off as well into windows from both teams, just trying to keep heads down and maintaining fire superiority and stuff like that, which was very, very smart from both teams. You know, as an attacker, you want to be getting the fire off so the defenders aren't seeing your pushes in, distracting, and that was happening, but they couldn't quite get there.
No, they could not. And so we will get to see the reverse now, as if you're new to the Onward scene and following us for the Challenger Cup, then basically the sides will change each time, and so you get 2 rounds on one objective. One team plays attack, one team plays defense, and then they do make that swap. So, and then you'll, after that next round, move on to the next objective. So Dub City Warriors now on the defense, going to have to try and hold against BRSec, who are going to be feeling pretty good about that first round, and may have a little bit of momentum to start things off with. And if they can find those crucial picks, and they could certainly find themselves getting a Mossad win here. Well, TB, let us go into round number 2. This first round of the EU Challenger Cup playoffs.
And we did get to see opposite spawns from both sides spawning in. Instead of the defense, we get to see them spawn in the north, and for the Mossad, we see them spawn in the south. And we're seeing a same push coming out from, looks like both teams taking the same push and about the same defense too. So get to see. We're gonna get some early action from Surtison and the Mossad.
Oh, Surtison does manage to find 2 very early on with a very nice push, aggressive if anything, straight into upper retro. Wasn't paying attention to that one, was keeping an eye on the Mossad push. And Papanius now got to try and get the shots, does get a very nice quick shot onto Surtison, taking him down. Dub City Warriors down to 4, but BRSec with only 3 attackers. This map is a very, very tough one to attack with only a very minimal number of players. I'm sure there's going to be some talks in the tent for that, as losing 2 people that early on to such an aggressive push does make you question some things.
And we do get to see some shots come out onto the 2 Berserks up in the south over here, South Valley, pushing through here. They're trying to find the person who shot at them, but I don't think they're quite sure, or maybe they do see them. Shots are pretty accurate, so I'm gonna let them do their stuff.
Yeah, that South Brothel position, so powerful, is watching over. GDIM just trying to connect what shots he can. It's always a very, very tough push, though.
We know the guys, they're snipers, so and we know that he can hit his shots. He's not gonna miss, so gonna see, hopefully see some snipes. I always love seeing the snipes, but depends if he doesn't get spotted first.
Yeah, that is certainly the tough question there. We can see him using only the 4x, though. Not many players do opt to take that, so you got to be very, very confident in the use there and what you can see. But we did see some fantastic shots in that last round. 3 minutes 30 seconds now remaining. Not many gunshots have gone out, so BRSec aren't going to be able to really map out Dub City Warriors' positioning here. They don't get the fortunate caster view that we do get, and they've got to really try and pick apart this defense, or at least get them firing the weapons just to try and ascertain where they are. Dolomane does see the movements by Papanius in upper red truck. He's sitting in South HQ. North HQ, should I say, and just trying to land those shots, but Papanius is going to stay tucked in and survive just for now.
Yeah, 3 lasers on you. That's, I mean, if they could see what we saw, they would be really scared how close they were to death, but they don't, so they have to use their brain harder than we have to. So, I mean, yeah, just general push from both these teams. Looks about the same. I mean, it looks about the same midway round as we did get see Dub City. 1 in this north and 2 in the south, and it does look like if we hop over to the people in the south, they're taking the same route as Dub City.
Yeah, they certainly feel a lot more confident in the Valley kind of push, but Jake Crew in a very similar spot as GDM in the last one does take him down and leaves the guy all alone to try and push out from the south. The distraction for Papanius has taken a little bit of an effect there, but it's not going to allow this push to come in as the helicopter position there is just too powerful. The guy getting spotted left, right, and center right now. You can see Jake Crew's laser just scanning the area. Grim Reaper opting to move from South Brothel, get into a better position, does make the movements, tries to connect some shots, can't quite get them, so he goes down to the guy with a very nice quick shot there. Going to be kicking yourself about that kind of rotation. That must have really hurt there. Papanius now with the pick onto Dolomane. Does even things out. 2-2 at the moment. And this push is certainly starting to take effect here. And down is there. Going to be able to get the callouts, but it's just how important all those, or how good all those callouts going to be made.
And Dub City is just leaving the objective open. If Papinus moves now, it could be a cap. This could very well go in favor of Berserk if they are not going to be paying attention to this. DC Chill Will does decide to come back, but that could have been bad at that time.
Yes, but now we are creeping down. 40 seconds remaining. This push really needs to try and come in, and it's got to come in fast. Papanius really needs to take out Chill Will. Can't quite does take down Jake Crew, though. Now we are down to the final defender, Chill Will. Got to move around on the objective, but 30 seconds less than remaining. The guy and Papanius got to push in and try and find this kill now that they can. They could have rided out on those Vogue wins, but they are trying to get this Marsart win. They mean business. 15 seconds remaining. Chill Will just sitting on the objective now. Back is exposed. If Papanius can get around quick enough, he could get the win here for Dub City. But oh, Chill Will takes down Papanius. 5 seconds now remaining. Just got to stay tucked in. Oh.
No, good kill. Oh, wow.
Oh.
1 second.
Doesn't get as close as that, does he, TB? I mean, Miro, what are your thoughts?
Well, what a round to watch. We could see there a much more aggressive defense from Dub City. Clearly a quicker team with Berserk doing a very slow attack, which in the end you could see there paid off. It went from was it a 4v2 to a 4v, no, from a 1v2, which is a very, very good comeback. Unfortunately, they ran out of time in the end. Well, no, they didn't. They got picked off by the last defender, which was very risky from him because he could have been taken out and lost on the last second. I think you're right. Staying tucked in would have been the better idea. But the speed for Berserk did allow them to rethink and work together and almost make that comeback that they just needed for the attacking round.
Indeed, fantastic analysis there of that last round. Such a very quick action. Well, it started off slow, and then in the final minute or two, that's where the action certainly kicked in there. TB, what are your thoughts?
So we did get to see the push from south, and instead of what Dub City, what they were able to do is the guy was able to distract the entire team to look towards him over in the south, and so the north was able to push up and up and up, and while they weren't looking, when they looked back, it was already over, and then they just got hit from 2 sides. They lost 2 of their members, and then they got carried away with the revives, and they didn't give the guy enough credit for how good he is sniping, and it could have ended worse, but they eventually did get the win for Dub City. So I mean, it was close, but it was it was a good round, and we get it head into the third round. So, yeah, let's hop into that.
I know. I mean, I just can't believe how close that round well and truly was. A little bit more coordination between the sides, and yeah, I think we could have certainly seen a BR set win there. And but yeah, round number 3 now underway. Objective has changed. We move over to the lower dumpster objective. We haven't seen the quick spawn for Dub City Warriors. They did get the northeast kind of spawn, and we're going to see a very similar method of approach coming in with 3 people going around to the south. J. Crew with a nice pick though onto Papanias, does get him from a very awkward position underneath this truck here. Now that's ingenuity, and that's what we like to see here in VR. Using the get the
so close.
the revive comes out and the final pick. Oh, that's just wow.
That's Zaunos talking to himself, trying to. Why can't I revive you? Where are you? He's dead. Oh, and Sir Dasson is already behind the defense, already over here in White House. That could be very problematic for Berzek.
Yeah, it is a very, very powerful position, and especially if you don't know that somebody is sitting there, he can see all the way behind. Partisan is just in the basement there. Got to hold that position. You can't let somebody push in and try and get the basement cap on this, but you've also got the second floor that you've got to try and keep an eye on. And plus the approach from mid-hotel, it's certainly a very, very tough objective for Marsoc, and or well, even for Volt themselves, as they have so much area that they must try and keep an eye on. And a lot of methods of approach that they've got to keep an eye on, but Bielsa really holding this down well at the moment. But Sir Dasson does find the pick onto the guy moving around by the stables, and Bielsa now down to 3 defenders, these crucial defenders in such important positions. We don't want to see Partisan or GDM go down on the objective, as that could certainly make things just a lot bit more difficult. Grim Reaper with the long shot onto Zenoza. And this attack really starting to push out. Dub City Warriors mean business when it came to picking this map, and they're showing just why right now.
Oh, GDM goes down. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Incredible.
I was just watching Dolomane there, and Sir Dasson gets the final picks onto GDM and Partisan. Wow, just great play there by Dub City Warriors, getting that crucial Marsoc win that they needed. Miro, what are your thoughts there?
Not a single boring round so far. We can see very, very different to their first attack, which they did lose, but this time they managed to bring an attacking round home, which they are going to be very happy about. And not just the attacking round, they had all 5 attackers still standing, which is very difficult. And definitely not something you see very often with 2 balanced teams like that. And it is definitely standing out. But DC used a very similar attack to their first time, so maybe they just got unlucky on their first one, or just execute this one a bit better. But they were being very quick again, just similar to the defense, pushing into those crucial positions, and eventually they managed to push in, surround the objective by the north and by the south, getting into White House and like Red Truck and those type of areas. And then eventually they managed to, take down all 5 defenders, which was very impressive of them.
That it was, and they got their very early kills that really puts a struggle there for Biarsec on this objective. And if you do start losing Volt players a lot earlier on, like I was saying, this objective. It does seem like we are going to get some defenders over in mid-hotel, and the push is going to come in from the north.
We do get to see Papayas, the top fragger for the RSec right now, moving up through the south. And I mean, if we're gonna have a repeat of Sardassin, they can get behind through this valley as long as DC keeps looking that way, up into the White House, and potentially start picking them off, creating chaos. And while they all shift their attention there, then the north push comes in. So that might be their plan of waiting for Papayas to maybe get a pick or something and then moving and cause confusion and move. Good rule to have when playing this game.
That it is, and this objective, or at least Downfall in general, really does rely on Volk just not trying to get too peaky, and you're kind of waiting a lot of the time for Marsok to just get out in the open and get those picks. And we're seeing some very good positions here by Dub City. They're just holding those really late angles. I like Jake Crew's positioning here. It's a spot I've used myself. You're just waiting basically for anyone to push out in the open from the valley, and you can easily pick them off as there is just no cover and they're not going to be able to get the quick shots onto you. So it's a very, very good, powerful position to be holding from there. He's just got to not expose himself to Papanius, who is watching like a hawk from the Marsok Towers, but the attack is slowly coming in now from the north. Partisan and GDIM both getting ready to attack on the west road. We are seeing the movement coming in from the helicopter. GDIM taking this very, very straight angle to the objective, but for the most part, it is exposed. He could get through past Mid Hotel and find himself on the objective, with Dolomane being the only defender really watching it right now.
And if he lays down in a certain angle, if he lays down and pushes through the east side of this objective, he can crawl past underneath the line of Grim Reaper and Dolomane and get to objective unseen. So I mean, if you want to lay down your stomach that and hurt your neck for that long, then it could be a cap. I've seen it happen before, it could happen again. Grim Reaper takes some shots. It's gonna have to use their syringe. So Grim Reaper's gonna be low, and a few more shots and Grim Reaper's dead. So
Ooh, Chill Will with a nice pick onto Partisan. Is watching from Mid Hotel. It's a very good position to be holding. You can basically just see if anyone is coming from the north there, or at least from North HQ. And just get those quick picks, as we did just see by Chill Will. The issue it's got, though, is it does give away his position now. GDIM and Zanoz are both approaching Mid Hotel. Know to avoid that angle and try and go for the similar approach as where GDIM's going now, just on the east side of Mid Hotel. It's very, very exposed. There isn't a lot of coverage there until the very last second. So if GDIM and Zanoza can stay quiet, they could potentially find themselves getting closer to the objective, get those smokes out, and try and get the
for Grim Reaper, and then capitalizing on that smoke might throw Jake or ooh, this is close. So much stuff that could happen here, and Papanius needs to. Oh, GDIM picks off Sardassin, and Will's gonna have to be. Oh, Will's above him, and Will gets the kill.
Very nice angle there by Chilwell. Does get the shots there. Jake Crew taking down the guy now. And it does all come down to kind of Papanius' push here, but Jake Crew is holding that really good angle. Goes down. Oh, Papanius now could make this push. 20 seconds remaining. He's got to be a quick capper, but he potentially could get in there. Dolomite not going to be able to hold both angles.
Zano, in that room, in the rooms. Oh.
15 seconds.
Oh.
Papanius isn't keeping check at that time. If he had had knowledge at the time, he probably would have made that push then, and we could have seen a BR set cap come out, but the time is going to run out, and Dub City Warriors going to go 3 points up versus BR Set's 1. Oh, that was unlucky. It was a good effort.
Yeah.
Miro, give us your thoughts.
So if we had a look there, it was another slow attack from Berserk. We can clearly see their team's play styles are really, really showing. We can see Berserk as the slow, waiting for picks type of team, and we could see them actually waiting for each other to push. We had one guy in the helicopter who was waiting for his, he stayed in that helicopter peeking into Center Hotel for so long, and then when his teammates got there, well, got to their positions, he started to make his move in. I think he did get picked off in the end, but that was unfortunate. But then we have, sorry about that. DC didn't use a fast defense this time. They kind of went for the more late angles type push, which did allow, Dub City, Berserk were waiting for ages for these picks that just weren't happening, because they must have been fooled by Dub City's, changing style of play. And then Berserk, ran out of time in the end because they were waiting for picks in the south for so long.
Interesting. That was the kind of biggest issue there, was that south push just not quite able to, get in at the same time and push in and get that cap that they needed. It's unfortunate though for Berserk, but we did see for them that this map wasn't certainly one that they played too much. And TB, is this going kind of the way that you would have expected? Are we going to see something from Berserk, do you think, now back on defense? What are your thoughts?
I didn't expect it to go this way. I thought it might have been more. I mean, I expected it to be closer between these two teams, but I didn't expect it to be the time running out. I feel like Berserk, their experience would have been like, okay, there's 30 seconds left, we need to push on this objective, but it didn't, and they let that the time run out, and it's come close every Marsoc round for them, and they need to start getting that together, because I think that's the only reason they lost their 2 Marsoc rounds was time and not anything else. So they need to start playing smarter instead of, they're playing smart, it's just the time, they need to focus on that a little bit more.
Yeah, it's certainly a tough one there. We're going to start things out. Grim Reaper with the first pick onto Zenoza.
And the guy.
And the guy, should I say. Berserk now down to 3 defenders very early on. This objective, such a very tough one to go for, especially when you're against a kind of aggressive player or a team like DC. I mean, Dub City really have been playing aggressive for Downfall. We're seeing these positions people are getting into, and they're just getting those picks, and it's just destroying Berserk right now. Papanius all alone. We've got 4 attackers basically surrounding him here. He's got to try and come up with a play and see what he can do. He needs the backup from the rest of the team. Grim Reaper going to be the first one to go down to him, but Sid Dasson does hear the gunshots, going to try and see where he can find him. But Papanius in a good position, sitting on the outside here, but does get spotted by Jake Crew, whilst Partisan gets spotted himself. Papanius only down, can get call-outs. Confirmed not coming out, does get confirmed now, and we come down to the last defender, GDM all alone.
Ooh.
In what's a very precarious position here.
I think they may be having technical issues.
Like they may have put their controllers down?
Nothing like a good old bathroom break in the middle of your match.
But whilst all this is going on, Dub City Warriors, they're getting ready. They're pushing in. With GDM not moving here, the cap certainly could just come out here. The smoke's now being played. And Chill Will does have Tablet out. GDM's not going to be able to react. Jake Cruz just got to basically not kill him here. And Dub City Warrior is going to go 5 points up, but he did go down. It does seem like a drop came out there right at the very last second. So then, yeah, we will see Dub City Warriors take the first map and the first round, and go on to play LGR in the next round. Miro, final thoughts from yourself?
We could then again see another change in pace from Dub City, which maybe threw Berserk off. Berserk couldn't even get into their positions we've seen at the start, with 2 of them being taken out instantly by I think it was Grim Reaper very early on, and then getting another 2 picks a bit later from a similar thing. But unfortunately, they did, lose the last round due to a disconnect. But even then, Dub City had a brilliant push in, and I think they would have had that either way. And that was, spectacular. And overall, in the whole game, we've seen a lot of changes and surprises. And overall, Dub City managed to
Now, and then get ready for Dub City Warriors and BRSec in their next game. So yeah, we will Dub City Warriors taking on LGR in the next game, should I say. BRSec just got to wait it out now and potentially jump into the 3rd round and try and play it out again. So please do not go anywhere whilst we get some bits sorted.